Hi guys, this is my Module 3 reflection. So this module is really cool. I liked the first two videos that were talking about how much the internet has changed the world and the society that we live in today. I think things can be spread a lot faster, and the statistics that the videos were showing, especially the one with the kids in the classroom holding up the pieces of paper, there were just so many different statistics about how many people watch videos and how many things that are impacted by the internet, and it is so crazy to me. So those were really cool videos. The WESH lecture was something that I really enjoyed watching because there were so many ideals that I did not even realize about YouTube. One of the cool stories that were being told about in the WESH lecture was the online love story. The guy Matt that was acting like a high school American when he was actually British, and then the other girl that wrote a video to him, and they just kind of started this online love story. It was crazy that just one video of some guy talking to a camera ended up spreading to thousands of people watching this online love story unfold. So that was really crazy, and I think getting out of that, the message out of that was just that people connect. The internet connects people, and it connects people all around the world, which is really blows my mind that somebody all the way in Europe can contact me through things like YouTube. So that was really crazy to think about, and I think that was one of the messages, was just that the YouTube and the internet and the World Wide Web, like, it connects people all around the world. It isn't just something that you post something online and that's it. Like, people around the world can see that. So I think that brings us into the next message that the WESH lecture brought out, which was to be self-aware and aware of what you're posting and what you're putting online, because it can be seen by important people and people that maybe you don't want to see. And so we have to be careful of what we put on there, because it could impact someone negatively, or it could impact yourself in the future in a negative way. Bringing that into education, it can impact you, and if a future employer was to see something that you put online years ago, we can go back years on social media like Twitter and Instagram. We can go back years and look at pictures from years ago. And if a future employer sees something that maybe you didn't want them to see, it could keep you from getting a job. And so as a future teacher, that's important, because also your students can see what you put online. So if you put something online that isn't respectable or isn't professional, students can find that and they can see that, and it could cause a lot of controversy, and it could almost cost you your job if it's a negative post, or it's a political post, or whatever it is. It can cause a ripple effect. So my podcast that I listened to, it was called Shifting Our Schools, episode 63, Kids These Days. At the beginning, he just kind of started talking about Google Docs and how to keep your students aware of everything that's changing on Google. But then he went into what he was trying to talk about on his podcast, which was kids these days not being engaged in school and not being willing to learn and excited to learn. One interesting thing that he said was, are kids not engaged in my teaching, or am I not teaching the way kids are engaged? And so we just have to be aware as teachers how to bring out a lesson or a lecture in a way that keeps people engaged and keeps the kids willing to learn and focused. So it was a really cool podcast, and I think a podcast like that and blogs, they can always be used in the classroom to help people see personal views, especially in like current events. It's important to keep our students updated on like what's going on in the world. So I think things on the web like blogs and podcasts can be used to kind of show students like, hey, this is what's going on in the world today. These are some of the issues we're dealing with. And I think that comes with certain subjects in class like history and current events, more than maybe math or science. But I think social networking is good for classrooms because, I mean, my high school, we have a Facebook page and we post things about football games and volleyball games and events and activities going on. So I think in that aspect, in school and education, I think social networking is good because it gets people involved, and it reaches out to kids that maybe need to be reached out to kind of show them like, hey, this is our school, this is what's going on. So I think that that's a good way to have the social networking. I think it's important to have that in schools as long as it's used in the right way. And the last thing was my bookmarking tool that I used. I went on to Reddit, and that was a really cool place. It was really simple to sign up on and then to start using as a bookmarking tool and bookmark certain things that I saw, certain articles or blogs or things like that. It was very simple and very efficient. I think I could use it a lot as a teacher, and so I think it would be really cool to have that just for future reference. And so yeah, this module was really cool, and I learned a lot.